for how things are. You had no interest in past or future, right? What's left? Just see if you can. Don't answer the question, experience it. If you need to close your eyes for a minute and say, okay, no judgment, no good, no bad, no past, no future. I'm not going to, for this moment, I'm not going to judge anything. There's not going to be any duality. I don't need this moment to be any different than it is. I'm not at all interested in past or future. And I'm letting all of that go to just breathe and be present in this moment and see what happens inside you. Try it. Let's try it. What did you notice? Calmness? Peacefulness? I mean, I don't want to give you the answers, but did you actually have a little bit of experience of what happens when you take duality out and you take time out? Or just absolute infinity. There was no more box that you were in. That this self is clearly limitless. And then the mind come and just start clouding it up. Go ahead.
Tom, so thinking this through, positive thinking is not a practice we're engaged in.
No.
That is a mind, run show there.
Yep.
So this was kind of wrapping around what I was saying before. So we are always in neutral, just dealing with what is.
No. That is mind-based. We are not in neutral. Okay? Because when you say that we are in neutral, you know what I mean? That applies that there's a not neutral. So even though you're saying the word neutral, the duality is still there. Why? Because it's a mental projection.
Yeah, I'm trying to say equanimity,
Well, okay, who is the we that is in equanimity? And here's the thing. If we're going to really be specific about these words, okay, there is no one in equanimity. The self is equanimity. The self is not saying, okay, I got to be in equanimity now because I'm the self, and if I'm not, then, it's not like that. The self, when you experience the self, when I say when you experience the self, that's not even how I want to say it. In the moments that you realize that the self, that you are, that you've always been, and you're not becoming, you've always been the self, always, right? And you are beginning to realize, that in the absence of mind, that the self very much shines through, like the sun shining through the clouds. The clouds are gone, blue sky, the self is there, just in boundless equanimity, peacefulness, and joyfulness. If there is something terrible going on, a death in the family or your own death or something, you might not be happy, but you will be peaceful. It is the natural state of the self. Okay? And then there is the mind. And so the mind, very, very different. It's very, very different to say that I am in boundless equanimity and I know that that's a comfortable state for me, and that's all mind-based. When you are present in the moment, you are not thinking about the moment. Thoughts may arise, but they don't arise from mind. They arise from a deeper, wiser place. Any artists in the room? Do you notice when you're creating and you're present in the moment that is coming from somewhere that you don't even know? Right? When you draw, right? I'm repeating that just because you don't have the microphone, but it's yeah. Yeah. That's okay. It's you go somewhere and you're in it. All artists describe this. There have been times in your life where you have been really present, like something was happening and it was such an important thing, birth of a child, a wedding, whatever, a giant game. And you were so present that because that moment was so important to you that all other moments disappeared. What did that feel like? And in those moments you experience your nature.
I think you can have expectations, like we're trying to be happy, we're trying not to be sad. We can't have those expectations because we are going to feel happy, we are going to feel sad. We do that, we're human, but we can't expect it. And once we overcome certain hurdles that we have to do while living, paying bills or, dealing with relationships, we have to do that. That's part of living. I think we just have to let our expectations go and feel what we're feeling at the time, and try to let things go and see how it feels.
If you let mind go, you let expectations go with the mind, because the expectations are mind-based, true?
Right.
So I'm not saying let's just pick through every fine minutia, let go of expectation, let's forgive, let's do this, let's do that. I'm saying let's just throw the whole bucket in the garbage. Let's just throw the mind in the garbage.
We can throw the mind in the garbage, but we still have to deal with everyday life that we have. We still have to deal with it.
Well, no. You don't have to deal with anything. Like do you hear your mind in that? When you say you have to deal with it, there's even a judgment in that.
Right, but we still have to function. Put it that way. We have
to
live.
Function.
Yeah.
We be in life.
Right.
We just be in life. We don't deal with life. We be in life. You see, there's never any problems. There's never any problems. There's just what's happening. And as you observe this more and more clearly, you will see that the difficulty is dealing with your own mind, not dealing with what is so. John is describing that. Problem with the IRS, John has been practicing for a very long time, and the way that he deals with himself is very different. That he deals with himself, the self, residing as the self, some fear something gets sucked up into mind, and then you're bouncing around the mind and you say, wait a minute, I don't need to be here, right? And you come out. So, letting go of expectations can be a part of it because the ego expects things to be a certain way, right? But if you look at it that way, you will find such a myriad of ego problems, some obvious, some very hard to see. What if you were just simply free of ego? What if you were free of mind? How do you be free of mind? I just said it. What does the mind do? Time, duality.